Welcome back to Recruiting Thursday here on the Westmoreland Sports Network. Jack Ridenour with you, and today I'm joined by Norwin football player and recent Miami of Ohio football commit, Jackson Pons. Jackson, first off, thanks so much for joining us today. Congratulations on the huge commitment. How does it feel to finally make this decision?
First of all, thank you for having me. It's great. I mean, it's a huge relief of coming off my shoulders. I mean, being able to go to my senior season and just being able to focus on winning games and getting better this season and helping my teammates win. That's the biggest goal, and it's just a huge stress relief, and it feels really good to be able to call a place home already.
Yeah, I'm sure a huge weight lifted off of your shoulders and a huge relief for you without a question. But want to dive right into it with just what led you to wanting to continue your career at Miami of Ohio. What was it about the school and the academics, the program and football that ultimately led you to wanting to continue your career there?
Yes, sir. First of all, I mean, they have a great school. I mean, it's a great academic school. I mean, their business school is top 25 in the country, and that's what I want to study in college and business. My dad's a businessman, and I want to study business and be able to make that a career. And then obviously the football aspect of things. I mean, they're a great program, and they won the MAC championship in 2019. So I mean, they know how to win. Coach Martin has been there for 10 plus years. I mean, he knows what he's doing to be able to keep a job in today's college football game. I mean, everyone knows that. I mean, it's tough to keep a job for that long. And Coach Breakin and the position coaches really kind of went above and beyond to make it feel like home. And they really sat down and broke it down to me where that fit in their defense and how they think I can make an impact early. I mean, and I plan on early enrolling. So I think that, and they seem pretty confident that I could have a chance to challenge for playing time early.
Well, I think that checks a lot of boxes for you personally, and
Mhm.
being able to find a place that can, fit all those needs that you want is an incredible thing, truly a home run, if you will. Now, I know that you were a highly recruited player, and I would love to hear just what were some other schools that were on your radar, and really what were the other schools that it kind of came down to with Miami of Ohio at the end?
Yeah, so I mean, my recruiting was all over the place. I mean, there was Ivy schools, MAC schools, and then there was also Power Five schools that were also in the mix that were close to pulling the trigger on offering me, but they didn't. But I mean, I was talking to Duke and Pitt and Penn State and Wisconsin and West Virginia, all the schools around here, Rutgers, Syracuse, and all those schools. And I was talking to them, and they just probably want to see more in the senior season. But when it came down to the probably top three, I'd probably say it was Toledo, Miami, and Ohio. And it just came down to those three. I mean, they were all great choices. I felt like I couldn't really go wrong in any of those choices. So, I mean, it was nothing personal, but it just felt like me and my family really sat down and it caused wars in the household. But I mean, I think it was good talk. It was good talks. And I mean, I was grateful to be in the position because I mean, any kid would kill to be in that position. Say I have 17 offers. So, I mean, it was a good experience for sure.
Definitely a very good problem to have, as they would say. This is
Yeah,
not a bad problem to have without a question. But I would
sure.
love to hear just what this whole recruiting process was like for you from start to finish, especially with COVID factored into it in the
hmm
middle of it. I mean, what was this whole, beginning to end process of recruiting like for you?
Yeah, so in my freshman year and sophomore year, I mostly saw myself and was recruited as a receiver, and yeah, I always identified as a receiver. I never would have thought. I mean, if someone told me I would have been playing safety in college, I would have laughed in your face. And so, I mean, in the beginning, I was recruited as a freshman by Pitt. Like there was a we they heavily recruited me, and they kind of slowed off, but like sophomore and freshman year. I was recruited by Pitt and Penn State and some of the MAC schools more so, but like it was more so those top two. And then Mississippi State offered me going into my junior season. And then this year, I went into this season with a good amount of like a couple more offers, like five or six offers. And and then after this year, it kind of blew up on defense. I mean, I had a pretty good junior season, and it kind of just skyrocketed for safety. I mean, schools saw me as like I'm a fast safety, that I'm a big safety. I mean, 6'1", 6'1", 6'2", 185, and I can run and have good ball skills from playing receiver too. So it's been it's been good. I mean, I love safety now, and it's just like that's kind of what I prefer to play now too. So, um, it's really good. I mean, the recruiting process has been hectic, but it's kind of cool to see all these new places and see where schools see me and stuff, and it's been really good. I mean, but it's definitely changed too from the offensive side of the ball to the defensive side of the ball.
Well, with your offensive background, has the coaching staff at Miami of Ohio mentioned anything to you about maybe lining up at times on the offensive side of the ball?
I'm sure it could be a conversation because there has been talk of the receiver coach liking me too, and he kind of tried to mess with the defensive coaches and try to say that he would take me on offense, but it hasn't been a conversation yet, but I think it could be a conversation because I mean I still love receiver and I still think I can perform at receiver at a high level.
Going into your senior year, obviously, I think a lot of, student athletes, they kind of waver back and forth. Do I make the decision now? Do I wait until
Yeah.
after my senior year? What was it for you, and what kind of went through your decision-making process that ultimately led you to wanting to get it done now as opposed to waiting after your senior year?
Well, like I said earlier, I mean, one of the key parts was being able to go into senior season with the weight off my shoulders and not having to worry about recruiting and not having to worry about and like what I can like and just control what I can control. And another part was is like it really just felt like a great spot. I mean, it felt like a great fit, and it wasn't. It's one of those places where it's not too far from home, and it's also enough to get away from everything. And it's a beautiful campus, a beautiful school. I mean, it's a great program, and the coaches just really made it feel like another home. And also, and then a slight part of it, but like it wasn't too worried. I wasn't too worried about it, but it was a that's also a factor that everyone has to consider is that the recruiting world has changed so much, and with the transfer portal and with kids committing early and stuff, so they have a spot have spots. And I when I walked away from the visit, when I walked away from my second visit, I mean, no, my third visit, I really was not like I wasn't willing to wait. I mean, I felt like I felt like that was a great spot and that felt like the right fit, and I wasn't going to waste time on it. And I just knew that anything can happen, so I don't want to miss out on that opportunity because I know I'd be kicking myself if I did miss that opportunity.
And you're completely right about the new landscape in college football and really just college athletics as a whole. I mean,
Hmm.
roster spots are not guaranteed like they once were, with
Yes,
just
sir.
how kind of a large floodgate has been opened with the
Hmm.
the transfer portal, and you could go from one place to the next and so on and so forth. But good on you for noticing that and realizing that early on. But I know that you have
Thank
another little small connection to Miami of Ohio with a former great of Miami of Ohio and Ben
you. Yes, sir.
Roethlisberger. He was a guest at your parents' wedding, and I would love to hear, how did he wind up at your parents' wedding, and how cool is it now that a little full circle moment for you?
Hmm.
That's where you're going to be going off to school next.
Yeah. So, I mean, I was young at the time. I was like maybe one. I was like one, I think, when I was at my parents' wedding. I was born before them. So, but I think he was dating one of my dad or mom's friends from high school. And I think, and like they didn't know he was coming. Like they had no clue. And but the story was that when my dad and my mom were at the altar, and the priest like lower down says that Ben Roethlisberger, and me and my dad are diehard fans, like diehard Steeler fans, and my mom's not the biggest football fan, but like she knows who Big Ben is, and so it was pretty cool. I mean, but like because I grew up watching him, and like that's kind of like one of my favorite players of all time. I mean, especially as a diehard. And it's just like it's crazy that like I can be able to say I went to the same school as Ben. And it was kind of cool the other day. I mean, his it wasn't his personal page, but I mean one of the Twitter accounts that for his like podcast followed me, and it was kind of cool because I mean it's kind of crazy how it's like it's a small world, and it's just like what connections can lead to and stuff. And I'm very grateful to be in this position for sure.
Yeah, very cool. A very cool moment for you and your family, and really
Mhm.
just again, another nice full circle moment for
Yeah.
Miami of Ohio football, really. But I also saw something that I would love to hear a little bit more about, and
Mhm.
it also is kind of on top of the transfer portals, change college athletics is NIL deals, and you have one
Yeah.
with Aftermath Sports. Would love to hear you talk a little bit about your NIL deal, what it is entailed, and whatever you can share, and really how
Mhm.
it kind of all became a deal and how it started.
Yes, sir. Well, as I it's out to the public too, but I signed with the NIL tastemakers, and they're an agency that kind of just supports that student athletes and scholarship athletes, and that it's an up and coming program and agency that they support the like the blue chip kind of characteristics and the blue collar kind of characteristics. I mean, they support hard work, courage, leadership, and respect. And so, me and them, we came together, and after aftermath reached out to me, and they were like, I mean, we can make a pretty good deal out of this, and I can't get into too much specifics, but I mean, like, it's a very good deal, and like, I'm gonna be able to rep his gear and stuff for them and stuff, and it's just and be able to support that, and I can very well see myself leading it down to someone else when I graduate high school too, because I mean, it's just passing it down into Norwin's community, and I think I plan on moving it down and helping his brand out while also helping me out too, while by expanding it and helping the youth, or like getting the youth organization involved, because my dad does own the youth organization, and so I mean, it's just a great way to build a community and build a culture and stuff, because ultimately Norwin, I mean, I think that's the biggest goal, is changing the culture right now. So I think that if we can get everything like in one and united, I think it could be a real good turnaround, and go from 1-9 to maybe 7-3, maybe 8-2 and stuff, and maybe get into playoff games and stuff and down the road. And that's the ultimate goal. So I think that the NIL deal is a very it's a very cool aspect too, because I mean, obviously, it's like I get free gear, I get gear and stuff, and it's just like I can say I have an NIL deal, but it's also like the deeper aspect of things is that I can help my community too, and help and just unite, like kind of bring Norton together and make it one big culture.
I think that's a great approach that you have with it,
Hmm.
using your platform and using what you have to your
Yes, sir.
advantage and helping others with it, and being able
Hmm.
to try and spread that out to everybody in the Norwin community, like you mentioned. I would love to hear just your perspective on NIL, with you being still in high school and really
Hmm.
dealing with this, because, again, this is mostly, I would say, and I'm not an expert on it, but 90% a college thing. So you don't
Yeah.
see a whole lot in high school. I would love to hear, what has this kind of taught you about, business? I know you mentioned that you
Hmm.
want to get into
Hmm.
business and making deals, but also financially and understanding that part of things.
Yeah, I mean, NIL, I think it's a very good thing, but I also think it's a, it's a, it could lead to some bad things, but I think mostly but for the most part, it's a very good thing. That I mean, I do think college athletes deserve to be able to make money and stuff, and because I mean, I think that we deserve it. I mean, we spend hours countlessly of hard work and like putting in the hours and putting in the dedication to get to one goal, and then some guys don't always get to the NFL. I mean, like there's a small percentage that get to the NFL. It's the elite of the elite. But I think NIL has taught me a very, very good like it's kind of opened doors for me. I mean, like seeing my dad, because my dad will help me out and stuff, and like he kind of like showing me the ins and outs of business, and like how to get a good deal, how to make a good deal, like how to propose stuff, and it's just like it kind of it kind of is eye opening, is because I mean, before this I really had no clue of like I always knew I wanted to study business, but like I didn't know how to approach stuff. Like if I were to do it on my own, I would had no clue. And thank you to my dad and tastemakers, and because like I mean, it's really eye opening. And business is it's a everything's a business now. I mean, even the recruiting world, it's a business. I mean, it's like you got to know how to work the game. I mean, so knowing how to propose to people and like what you can get out of it by also helping them too is very, very, very impactful to like what I can see myself doing in the future. And it's like I'm happy that I got involved in this, because I think it's only going to go up from here, and I think it's going to prepare me for outside after football, and like what I can do when I'm in my career in business. And I think it's gonna take off in the NCAA too. I mean, I think it's gonna really, really have a huge impact on people and where people go to school too. I mean, like some people, I mean, you can see with some recruits now, they want to get the most NIL money, so they're going to choose a different schools besides going to Alabama and the Georgias and stuff. I mean, So I think it's gonna change the world. I think it's really gonna change this recruiting world for sure.
Yeah, and I think we're already starting to see, a little bit of that change starting to happen right here in
Hmm.
front of our very own eyes. And I think it's great that you also kind of get exposed to that, like you said, knowing what it's like to propose deals and how to kind of bargain and negotiate with people and what that kind of entails instead
Yes.
of, learning it in a classroom or whatever. Not saying that that's the worst thing in the world, but this
Yeah.
is more of the hands-on in the real world, getting thrown into the
Yeah.
fire,
It
if you
really
will. And
helps.
absolutely, absolutely. And I think that's great that you're able to have that advantage.
And it really helps as well. It's like you also know when you know when to look like when stuff's real and then also when stuff's fake too. I mean, you know how to like look through that stuff and it's like you develop real I think you can develop if you look at it the right way and you approach the stuff the right way that you can learn some valuable life lessons and career lessons as well.
Yeah, no question. And it's great that you're learning this as a junior in high school. I wish that I
Mhm.
knew that as a junior in high school. I did not know nearly this much. So good
Yeah,
on you for knowing that much.
thank
But
you.
I know looking ahead for next season, senior year, but another new thing for you, new football coach at
Yes,
Norwin with
sir.
Mike Brown. And I would love to hear just what it's been like for you getting to know him a little bit during the springtime. I know that you guys probably just have spring workouts and such, but
Hmm.
what has just been kind of the first few months getting to know him been like so far?
I mean, it's I can always say good things about Coach Brown. I mean, he's been so impressive. I mean, to me, I mean, be like, it's crazy how much like I can notice the difference already. And like, I loved I loved Coach Bro, and Coach Bro was my guy. That's always gonna be my dude and stuff. But I think it was ready for a change. I think it was the right thing. I mean, it's just, I mean, we went 1-9 last year, unfortunately, but I really do think Coach Brown has the right goal in mind because it's every day. I mean, every day he's stressing to us. You can't come in here and one day and just be like, oh, I'm gonna take off. It has to be every day, and it's just like he's stressing the workload that we need to have and the work ethic that we need to have to get to that spot where we want to be. And it's having he's the best dude. I mean, he comes in with full energy every day, goal in mind, and he's always pushing us to be everything. Even during the lifts, he'll come in and lift with us too. Like he'll get in the rack and start lifting weights, and it's like it's impressive. Like I mean, it's you can show how much dedication he has to make this to turn this program around, and it's good. It's like it's very like relieving to see this like because I mean, obviously this year is my last year, but it's like I know Norwin's in good hands.
Well, how much have you noticed that kind of infectious attitude that he has? How much have you noticed that start to,
Oh,
seep through to the rest of the
yeah.
team and to the rest of the
Oh,
guys?
100%. I mean, like I've even noticed in the past few weeks, I mean, like the culture, you can already feel a change in like the guys' attitude and stuff. It's like guys are going the extra mile, like guys are going and doing extra work, and it's just like guys are going and they're getting on people. Like I mean, if someone's taking off a set, they're gonna let you know about it, and it's like that's like it's great. I love to see because like that's how I am. Like I love like that's how I was wired when I was young. Like me and my dad have the same kind of work ethic. Like I mean, like if someone's not going the way, it's like because ultimately and on the football field, if someone's not doing their job, that affects your job, and that's going to affect you on the field. That's going to affect the scoreboard. I mean, if someone's not doing their job, that's six easily, and so, I mean, but like you could, if someone were to come into the weight room, you can see like from last year to this year, it's a different vibe, and it's just like, it's great. It's great to see every guy comes in with energy and they're ready to get after it, and it's actually fun to be a part of this weight room and stuff, and be a part of these workouts. Like, so I'm really looking forward to it, and I give that all credit to Coach Brown because he's stressed for it and like he's pushed people to a certain limit where they're like holy but like it's he has the best intentions in mind and I'm really looking forward to this.
So, what has kind of been some early expectations that you and your team have kind of set out already for you all going into this season, especially with Coach Brown now at the
Hmm.
helm and clearly what's from what you're saying, just a totally new environment for the Norwood
Yeah,
football team?
yeah. Well, I think always the goal in the mind is always going to be to get to the playoffs and hopefully win a championship. I mean, that's every competitor's goal is that you want to win. You want to get to the highest point. But I really do. I think the main goal to our mind is get to the playoffs. Like we just want to get to the playoffs this year and make a statement, come out and kind of like shock the world. I mean, we went 1-9 last year. And everyone's gonna be like, oh, they're gonna be 1-9 again. They're gonna be 2-8 again. And I think that's our goal is we want to come out and I probably can safely say that our goal as a team is to come out and shock the world. I mean that's come out and smack people in the mouth in the first drive of that first game, and it's just like come out and set a tone. I mean, and say like, hey, like we're different now. Like we're here now.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that again, from what you're saying and from just how you're saying it too, I can tell that there's a totally new
Oh
vibe
yeah.
around Norwin football, and
Mm-hmm.
that we're all going to be witnessing a very different Norwin Knights football team in the
Yes,
fall. But
sir.
Jackson, it's been wonderful to have you join us today on Recruiting Thursday. Before we let you go, with it being again your junior year
Mm-hmm.
now, but soon to be your senior year, would love to hear just what are you most excited for when you get into your senior season and just your senior year of high school? Doesn't have to be football related, can be
Yeah.
anything, can be out of class, in class, whatever. What are you most looking
Mm-hmm.
forward to heading in your senior year?
I think I'm looking forward to like just being able to enjoy it. Like it's like just being able to go out, have fun with my friends and stuff, and also go play football and stuff, and like not have to worry about any of this recruiting stuff. I mean, like now it's like college will come to me and stuff, and it's like now I can relax. I mean, like it feels real nice and stuff. I can go out. I don't have to worry about anything. Like obviously, I got to go still put the work in and stuff. I mean, because the work it only gets harder from now on. But I think it's just I think I'm looking forward to relaxing a little bit and just chilling with my friends and stuff and getting work done and then playing Friday Night Lights. I mean, that's like no one can I can't ask any more of that and stuff. And I think I'd also can say that I'm really looking forward to getting to cut like graduating early. Like I'm really looking forward to that and getting up on campus and stuff because I mean that's always been a dream of mine is to go to college and play football and play at one of the highest levels and hopefully I mean get to the highest level in the NFL. I mean that's the ultimate goal. I mean everyone can say that even when they were little. I mean that's everyone's goal is like I want to play in the NFL, I want to play in the NBA, I want to play in the MLB. So I mean I think I'm looking forward to just like the kid aspect of my senior, just enjoy it before I do go to college because I mean it is a job in college. So just enjoying that part, I can say.
No question, my friend. Enjoy it, soak it all in because it eventually does end and you
Yeah,
will be heading off to college soon, but you'll be able to live out that dream of playing college football very soon, my friend.
yes,
And
sir.
again, thanks so much for joining us today. Good luck the rest of the spring and good luck in the season coming up.
Sure. Thank you for having me.
That's Miami of Ohio football commit Jackson Pons. As always, thanks for watching another edition of Recruiting Thursday right here on the Westmoreland Sports Network.